Good evening, folks. I meant to do this video a couple of days ago, but as with everything, especially at the moment, this festive period, I've been very busy, working, family, various other things like that. And I'm here to talk about the fight that happened on Boxing Day. Naoya Inoue, its history-making victory over Marlon Tapales in Japan on Boxing Day morning. Now, before the fight happened, I was looking forward to it. It's always a pleasure to see Inoue. Well, I wasn't expecting much. I thought it'd be over in about maybe 3 or 4 rounds. I didn't think Tapales would really trouble Inoue that much, to be perfectly honest. But he put up a hell of a fight. Inoue did his usual thing. He was just landing. He was in control. He was landing the left hook and the right hand quite well. Wasn't, little bits were coming back, but nothing really bothered him. Because he put Tapales down towards the end of the 4th, and I thought, well, this ain't gonna last much longer. But then in the 5th, I was surprised. Tapales came out swinging. He wanted to win, and that's what really impressed me. More so about Marlon Tapales. He really wanted to. He came to win that fight. He did some good work to Inoue's body. That was a good tactic of his throughout most of the fight. He was targeting the body quite well, and he was able to push Inoue back a few times. He landed some nice jabs as well. He was able to push him back against the ropes, and he was able to land some nice uppercuts on the inside, a couple of straight lefts. But nothing really troubled Inoue. Inoue was very much in control of that fight, and every time he landed, you could hear the smack of those punches, the smack of those gloves on Tapales' face, and he was landing some vicious body shots round the elbows, and I thought, oh, he can't take too many more of those. But Tapales, he's a tough motherfucker, man. I didn't expect him to be as tough. I didn't expect it to last very long. I thought, as I said, 3 or 4 rounds, Inoue will get him out. He got him out in the 10th. In the end, it was just an accumulation of punishment. He landed a straight right, and it just fucking destroyed everything in him. I think it just took everything out of him, and he went down. You could see he was trying to get up, but his legs were fucked. And Inoue won. He's now the undisputed Super-Bantamweight champion. Last year he became undisputed Bantamweight champion. In the 4-belt era, he now equalled Terence Crawford with making history, winning all 4 belts in at the same time in 2 divisions. And yeah, it's an amazing thing, isn't it? I've already seen a couple of things online the past couple of days that he looks like he's going to fight Luis Nery, the disgraced. I believe he's Mexican. If he's not Mexican, I do apologise. Somebody please correct me. I'm sure he's Mexican. But I would think that fight's unlikely to happen in Japan, because obviously Nery's tested positive for banned substances in the past. I think he won his title, his previous, I think it was the WBC Bantamweight title, I believe, just off the top of my head, in Japan. And obviously the Japanese don't like that sort of thing, drug cheats and things like that. Now, although I don't particularly I hate drug cheats, as I said with Miller and all that, and I don't particularly want to see Nery get an opportunity, I think it'd be quite nice to see it happen, just so that Inoue can punish the guy and knock the fuck out of him. Basically, that's the sadistic side of me coming out, to see a little bit of punishment dealt out. But that I've seen that seems to be the lead rumour. Plus, I think he'll move up to featherweight next. The featherweight division's wide open now. You've got Luis Alberto Ramirez. You've got Rafael Espinoza now, WBO champion. WBA titles vacant. Ray Vargas is the WBC champion. I'm pretty sure he still is. Yeah, they're all decent, winnable fights for Inoue. So if he does vacate and move up to featherweight, yeah, that could be another division he dominates. Thing is though, because of his size and obviously he's a smaller fighter, it just, will that power carry up? You know, how far can he go? Because obviously he's not going to grow any bigger, is he? So be interesting to see how far he goes. But I think featherweight's definitely achievable for him. But he said he doesn't. I'm always interested in the build up to the Marlon Tapales fight. He said he doesn't like the idea of warm ups. He likes to be challenged, which I think is admirable. You know, I wish more fighters these days had that mentality. I want to fight the best. I want to be challenged. I want to go for the titles. I want to beat other champions. I don't want interim warm-up fights. And I think that's very admirable, especially in this day and age where it's all about fucking money. A lot of fighters, it's all about how much money I can make rather than making a legacy for myself. So, no, I'm very, very impressed with Inoue. I've been a fan of his for a few years now. Which brings me on to my next thing. Obviously, I keep seeing a lot of, who do you think the fighter of the year for 2023 is? And the two main names I see are Terence Crawford and Naoya Inoue. And obviously, I've seen David Benavidez's name's been bandied about quite a bit. Now, I personally would go with Crawford. I know he's only fought once, but purely, it's just my opinion, but purely because of that victory, the dominant victory over Errol Spence, making the history first male fighter to win all 4 titles to hold all 4 titles simultaneously in 2 weight divisions. I mean, obviously Inoue has now equalled that. You know, it's just purely because of that dominant victory. Because going into that fight with Spence, it was 50-50. No one could really pick it. Everywhere I looked leading up to the fight, 50-50. You know, all the polls 50-50. People, all the analysts and experts and pundits, they couldn't make their mind up. Obviously, and Crawford went in there and fucking dominated the guy and knocked him out. So it stopped him. So, you know, purely on that performance and the bit of history he made, I would go, personally, I would say Crawford. But however, if anybody out there thinks Inoue deserves the fighter of the year, I wouldn't argue. You know, he's fought twice this year. He's knocked both guys out. He's won world titles in both fights, and the second fight he unified the entire division. The Fulton fight, I think the Fulton performance was more impressive because a lot going into the fight, a lot of people thought, including myself, thought that Fulton would would give him problems, and he didn't. So, no, it's very dominant. But I've noticed that there's a lot of, especially this year, I've noticed there's a lot of hatred towards Inoue online, and I don't usually pay attention to people online because 99% of people who comment negatively don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah, they really don't. And I find this in the boxing fandom just lately, in recent years actually. I think it's to do with social media. It gives a voice to the voiceless, doesn't it? And people just are so fucking negative all the time. Doesn't matter who it is, who's won, who's doing well. You know, people just have to shit all over everybody all the time, and it's like, it takes me back to when Pacquiao was at the top of his game in sort of 2008, 2009. Yeah, he had a phenomenal couple of years there. And then, but there were haters out there. Oh, well, he's shit, he's this, he's that, he's a bum. I don't know if it's an Asian thing or what, it just seems, I'm not comparing Inoue to Pacquiao. I mean, there's some similarities there. I'm not comparing them though, they're both unique individuals, but Pacquiao, the hatred Pacquiao got at the time, or the criticism from a certain segment of the boxing community, reminds me of what's happening with Naoya Inoue at the moment, the monster. People just keep They won't give him any credit. Oh, he needs to come to the United States. I keep seeing that one a lot. Well, why? Who's there in the United States at the moment? He's been to the United States. He's fought in the United States. He's beaten everybody they put in front of him. The only fight he struggled in was the first Donaire fight. And in the rematch, he put him away. Yes, Donaire was older. Yeah, I think he's my age, so well past it. But yes, surely more credit should have been given to Donaire for the first fight. But no, everyone thought, oh well, anyway, look, he struggled with a 37-year-old man at the time. Yeah, oh, he struggled with a 37-year-old man. Whoa. And then he beat him in the rematch quite easily in 3 rounds, and everyone went, well, he's nearly 40. Can't fucking win. And there's a lot of that was with Pacquiao. Whenever Pacquiao beat anyone, he beat De La Hoya. Everyone before the fight thought De La Hoya was going to beat him because he was bigger. Pacquiao put on a great performance. In hindsight, De La Hoya shouldn't have been there. But, after he beat De La Hoya, everyone went, oh, well, De La Hoya's well past it. He doesn't, well, you didn't say that before, you cunts. And I think there's too much negativity. Now, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I've always said this. I have opinions, you have opinions. Everybody has their opinion. However, you've got to know what you're talking about before you form an opinion. There's too many people out there who don't know fuck all about anything. There's a chap I work with. He's the most opinionated, loudmouth fucking prick you could meet, especially when it comes to sport, and especially boxing. He's very opinionated on boxing, but he only watches like 2 or 3 fights a year. He'll only watch the Anthony Joshua fights, but he'll comment on boxing in general, and you think to yourself, well, you watch 3 fights a year, Anthony Joshua fights. You're not an expert, mate. You've got no place, but he'll dictate to everybody else what we should all think. Of course, I don't pay attention to the guy. I think I just laugh at the guy because I think he's a fucking prick. But he is an example of what is lurking out there on the internet. The Fury fanboys, the people who make excuses for Wilder, the people who criticise the smaller fighters like Bam Rodriguez and anyway, oh, they haven't fought anybody. Well, do a bit of research, mate. You don't know what you're talking about, so shut the fuck up. But that's my view on it anyway. Well, that's enough out of me. I'm going to finish this, have my dinner. I hope you all had a good Christmas. I hope you're all doing well. Hopefully 2024 will be a better year. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care, folks.